Hi guys, this is Bing147 and I want to welcome you to my latest pickup video. I know I haven't shot a pickup video in a while, and it's because, as I said when I started this other project, I'm trying to limit the pickups. You'll see here, it's been so successful. As far as I actually play my games, there's more videos coming soon. I actually am about to film some new videos, so yeah. Hopefully get some more up today actually, if not next couple days for sure. Anyway, as for the pickups, so it has been a mixed bag. At first, it was quite successful. The first couple weeks, I wasn't buying much at all. I do think I've stuck to my rules, actually. So I wasn't picking anything up that wasn't great or a really great price, something like that. I think I've mostly stuck to that. You know, it's all been really well priced. It's just, yeah, it's some really great deals have fallen into my lap, and I have quite a bit. You know, I mean, it's been like a month and a half or a month or something like that since I shot a pickup video. And I'm proud to say that if you look at this pile, it's about what I would have had in a week before. We're pretty close to it. The quality's higher, but the amount is probably about what I would have had in a week, which is actually makes me feel good. I think it is working to a degree. I mean, it may not be stopping me to the degree I wanted it to, but I've definitely cut back, which is a good thing. Anyway, I guess we'll get right to it. These are the pickups I've had since I started this process. We're going to start with these. These were a mixed deal. I got the two of these games for $23 at a game store. Now, that price was after trading some stuff in. I don't do trade-ins regularly, but I had a pile of like 20 bad Game Boy games that I had picked up during my last week of garage sailing. And 20 bad Game Boy Advance games. I thought, I'll never get anything for these. What's the point? But I took them in because I knew they had this one game and they'd advertised it online, and sure enough, they did still have it. And they gave me $37 for these crappy Game Boy games. I paid $20 for them, but that was with two Game Boy Advance SPs, a Game Boy Color, and two Game Boy cases, and one Game Boy game I kept. I still have the systems to sell. So I was happy to make that deal. It allowed me to get these two games for $23, which is a pretty darn good price considering what they are. First one's not that big of a deal. It is ActRaiser 2. Didn't have it, now I do. Don't have the first ActRaiser either, but I played it and loved it. I've played this some. It's well done, but very hard. I'm struggling to get anywhere in it, but it's fun. It's well done. The other one's a game I've played and beaten before, but it's an amazing game. It's pricey normally, so not in the condition I'd like it to be, really. I mean, I wish it was better condition considering what they were charging for it, but it's not a bad. When you get it for what I did after the trade-ins, it's a good price. And that is Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo. Yeah, thrilled to have that one. Okay, I've also picked up some N64 games. Actually, 4 of them in total. A couple of them need cleaning, but yeah. First one here, I got this for $5. It's a really good price for this, and that is Mario Kart 64. Didn't have it, now I do. Mario Kart's awesome, and for $5, I mean, I'm not going to pass that up. It's a $25 game. Picked this one up for $2 complete in the box, of the box I put away. That is NFL Blitz 2000. Not a bad price, especially complete in the box. And that's one of my biggest, variations. That was one of the ones that's borderline for whether I stuck true to it, but I love Blitz. I'm a huge Blitz fan. I didn't have any version of it, but you have a Dreamcast version, but it doesn't work. I can't get it to read anymore. So need is a strong word, but I wanted that badly, so I grabbed it. The other two, I got this at half price books. They were doing a sale, some coupons last week. I got 40% off of it, which you could argue this isn't thrift store pricing or anything. It's not, but it's a really good price for what it is. The game is Paper Mario for the N64. They had it priced at $24.99, but with 40% off, I got it for $15. I felt that was a really good price on it. I mean, I love Paper Mario. It's a great game. It's not a cheap game by any means. I was happy to get it for $15. And finally, picked this up yesterday at a Goodwill. For $2.99, I grabbed a copy of Donkey Kong 64. Didn't have it, now I do. I'm one of the people who defends this game. I think it's better than many people would say. Yes, it's a collectathon, like all Rare's ones, but I like it more than the Banjo-Kazooie games, so take that for what it is. A lot of people would disagree with me on that, but I never got into the Banjo games. Okay. actually picked up 3 systems, but they were all really well priced, I promise. First one is actually a double. I already have one, but now I have a backup. Dreamcast. It's my favorite system. Been nervous about the one I had. This one I have no nerves about. This one I know is good to go. So I'll keep using my current one unless it goes bad, then I have a backup. This thing was filthy, but it's cleaned up really nicely. I did clean this. Now I paid. It was marked $20, but it was 25% off day, so I got it for $15. And it wasn't just the system. It didn't have the cords, unfortunately, but it did have a controller in the box. Unfortunately, there was tape all around the box. Taking the tape off kind of messed it up a little bit. It's not. I hate when they do that, but you know it's not terrible. It's not in terrible shape. So, and it also came with 4 games, disc only. But these are some really good, not cheapo Dreamcast games, except for one of them. One of them was Slave Zero. That's the cheapo one. It's not worth anything, but whatever. These other 3 are pretty good as far as games go. Mortal Kombat Gold, that's about a $10 game. Yeah, it's disc only, but I'm okay with that. It works great. All these work great. There's like no scratches on any of these. I couldn't believe it considering they were disc only. Next one, pretty pricey on Dreamcast. I already had it on PlayStation, but since I'm going for a complete Dreamcast collection, it's the one I want. I'm gonna need it. So, yeah. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now I have it. Finally, this last one I actually already had. I didn't have any of those 3 games. This one I had. This one will be for sale at some point, but it is Street Fighter 3 Double Impact, which it was Third Strike. I have Double Impact, don't have Third Strike, but again, it was $15 for all of that with the box controller and everything. I wasn't passing on that. Okay. One more game I picked up at the half price books 40% sale. Because I went to 2 separate half price books to get them both. This one I got for $18 after the deal, which it's a good price for it. It's not an amazing price for it, but the discs, I could have gotten it cheaper, or not cheaper, but for about the same price online. But I would have been getting it incomplete. And here I have both discs are pretty much perfect. The case has one small crack in the front, but it's barely noticeable. And besides that, the case is perfect. The manual is mint. It's Parasite Eve 2 for the PlayStation. It was marked $29.99, but I got it for $18 with the coupon. That sale is probably those 2 items I got in that sale again. They're not thrift store prices, but I thought they were really good prices for what I was getting and the quality of the games. I actually got one more game there during the sale. Not for the 40% off. This was actually 20% off. They did that a couple days later. I went back and only got $1 off this, but it was already really well priced. This is kind of a semi-uncommon Dreamcast game. It's in really good shape. And that is the Prince of Persia Arabian Nights. Yeah, it was marked $4.99 as you can probably see there. Got $1 off for 20% off, so I paid $4 for this. That's a really good price for that game. I have no qualms about that. Actually, I think I did really good there. Okay. I'll do the 2 things I got on eBay next. I've gotten 2 things on eBay in the last couple weeks. Both good prices. Again, you can argue whether you think they're good enough for what I'm doing, but I thought they were really good, and they were with credit from things I've sold. I didn't actually spend any money on either of them. I mean, it's money because I've been paid it, but it's not money yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, this is the U.S. game. You may think otherwise when you see the art, but that's an art of the guy who sold it to me, had printed out and shipped it in. I just haven't switched it out. It's a copy of Dragon Force for the Sega Saturn. I paid about $30 for this, and yes, it's just the disc in a generic made-up case. Dragon Force, though, that's the cheapest one it's gone for, even disc only, in the last like 3-4 months. Yeah, I got a good deal on it. I spent like $32 shipped, something like that. I felt really strongly about that until during the half price book sale. I saw a copy for $50. 40% off would have been $30. But it's not better than what I paid. It's just about the same. So I didn't feel badly. They'll let me get Paper Mario, which is cool. Other item I picked up on eBay. This is disc only. It's got a couple of scratches, but it works fine. After a cleaning. It needed cleaning to get it to work, but now it works fine. Dreamcast disc only copy of Mars Matrix. Great shooter. Also kind of a rare game for the Dreamcast. I felt good. I got that for $15 shipped. Couldn't find another copy anywhere near that price. Not a lot of disc-only copies either, so, but, you know, for disc-only even, I'm okay with disc-only. Let me get a deal here. Okay, now we're going to find the last two things I got before yesterday. I already showed you the one thing I got yesterday, the Donkey Kong. The rest of what I got yesterday, I'll show you in a minute. This I picked up for Goodwill at $2.99. I'm really happy to get this because I haven't had one, so I've passed on the games that work with it a number of times, and they're games I like, especially Jungle Beat. That's a pair of Donkey Kong bongos. Yeah, they're the Pelican third-party ones, but they'll work. They were $2.99 in the Goodwill in the box. I keep seeing them for like $7 or $8, but I've never seen them for less than like $8 for a pair, and usually they're like $10. And I just keep passing. You know, it's like, it's a little more than I want to pay. It's a little more than I want to pay. Well, I was fine with paying $3, and now I can pick up Jungle Beat or the Donkey Kong games if I see them. Which I've seen them a lot of times, actually, for really cheap. Okay. Same day I picked that up, I picked this up in the case there. This came with all the cords, controller, and the DVD playback kit. That is an original Xbox. As you can see, the DVD playback kit's actually plugged into it there. I paid $12.99 for this. Now that's a pretty good price for an Xbox. It works great. I was a little nervous, but it does work great. Something jiggling around in there, which is a little annoying, but again, no issues with it. I usually see them for like $20 all the time, but it's a little more than I wanted to spend. 13 was, you know, and usually when I see them for $20, there's no cords or anything. So it's like, a lot of times I see them for like 40 or 50. Some people think they're worth way more. So when I saw that for 13, I was like, okay, I've been wanting an Xbox. I'm tired of every time I pick up an Xbox game, I have to go and see, oh, is it gonna work? Is it gonna, is it gonna work on my 360? Can I play it? And I have a couple like Metal Slug 4 and 5 that I couldn't play. So it's really nice. I pop Metal Slug right in and play some of it. So okay, the rest of this is what I picked up yesterday, plus the Donkey Kong 64 I already showed you with the 64 games. First pickup of the day was this. I walked into one of my favorite pawn shops. It's dusty, I have to clean it later. It does work though. Walked into one of my favorite pawn shops and I saw a Gamecube on the counter behind the counter. They actually had 3 Gamecubes, but it's funny because the other 2 were just the system and they were $20 a piece. This one was $15.99. It was the newest one I got, and then that's probably why they made it less, because they already had 2 sitting there, so they wanted to see if they could move this one. They don't adjust their prices. Sometimes you can haggle with them if they've been out there a while, but first thing I noticed about this GameCube was the 2 receivers in the front of it. Yeah, Wavebird receivers. Controllers are pretty common to find. The receivers not so much though. But they had the controllers too for $15.99. 2 Wavebirds. Also had the Game Boy player. No disc, unfortunately. The disc is the expensive part. But I'll find a disc eventually on the cheap. It's not a hurry, although I do want one. But the Wavebirds are the real reason I picked it up. Also came with the original box. It was the Mario Party 7 edition. No game, unfortunately. But it did have the Mario Party microphone in there. It had a Game Boy Advance GameCube light cable, which is going to be useful when I show you something else I picked up. And yeah, it was in really good shape, except being a little dusty. I was happy to pay $16 for it. Yeah, those Wavebirds alone I would have paid $16 probably for, to be honest. So getting the rest of it's just extra. Well, then I go over to Savers. And there's a guy there who I kind of know. I don't know him, but whenever he sees me, he knows I'm a guy who collects games and looks for games. And a lot of times he'll run in the back if they've got anything new they haven't put out yet, and I'll get first dibs on it, which I gotta admit I like. But he said, I asked him if he had anything new. He said, no. And then he said, wait, yeah, we just got some GameCube games. I'm like, okay, I'll take a look. Well, he goes in the back and he brings these out. They were not priced yet. I kind of tried to haggle on the price. He said, and I think I did get him down on the other ones, but the biggest one he said he had to do $10 for, which I didn't, because it had the cardboard box and it had the GameCube Game Boy Advance link cable with it. So now I have 2. And by the way, that's still in the plastic, which is cool. I don't know if this has ever even been played. Well, the box is a little beat up. The cardboard box is a little beat up. The game itself is mint. And that is a copy of The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. It's in the original box. It's in pretty rough shape, as you can see around the corners and all, but complete. It's got the manual. It's got the case. It's got the link cable. It's got everything. It's, you know what? It works great. Now I have 2 Game Boy Advance GameCube link cables, which is good because I can link 2 Game Boy Advances up to it and play it co-op. I was psyched to get this. I really was. It's awesome. $10 is worth it, I think. It's a really good price overall. I wish I could have gotten them down to the $2 or $3 point, which they usually have their games for, but he wouldn't go that low. Luckily, the others, I didn't pay more than $2.99 a piece for. One of them was $1.99. And the one you get for $1.99, I didn't have this. It's Star Fox Adventures. Some people don't like this game. I actually do. I think it's a fun game. It's complete, has the manual and everything. I think it's a fun game. It's a Zelda clone, but it's a fun Zelda clone. Yeah, it's not Star Fox, but it's not a bad game because of that. Like, when I told my cousin I got this yesterday, he was like, "Oh, it's not Star Fox." I'm like, "No, but it's a good Zelda clone, so what's the problem?" Anyway, these 2 were $2.99 a piece. Actually, the remaining 3 were $2.99 a piece. These 2 are complete and are going to be for sale, but I already have them. They are Luigi's Mansion, Mario Sunshine. Both work great. Like I said, I already have them, so I'll be selling these 2, but $3 a piece, I can make a profit there easy. I'll actually make back what I spent on everything else pretty close to for yesterday. So, final one here, I could make some good money if I wanted to sell this, but I'm going to keep it. And that is a GameCube version of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. $2.99. Yeah, for Twilight Princess. On GameCube, that's an amazing deal. This is the only one that's not complete. It's got the paper, but it's missing the manual. But the disc is perfect. Plays great. I'm so happy to have this. It's so much better than the Wii version. I mean, the Wii version is not a bad game, but the motion controls, unlike with Skyward Sword, where they had time to integrate them and make it feel natural, they just feel tacked on here. And they take you out of the game. But when you get into the game, Twilight Princess is an amazing title. So, and that's the way to play it. Anyway, we're almost done. Also, I went to a pawn shop I'd never been to before. They were really nice, actually. They said, our games owe $1 a piece. But the only thing is, they said that they didn't have much of a selection at all. But I saw this, and I asked them, "Did you do $1 on that?" And they said, "Yeah." And it's kind of rough shape, but it's a copy of Mario Superstar Baseball. The case is busted, but it's complete. The manual's there. I can replace the case. It's not the original case anyway, as you can see. It's a bigger DVD case, but it's complete with the manual at least, and it's got the original cover art. So maybe it was a rental or something. I don't know. It works fine. And actually, in the same case, which I was charged nothing extra for, they knew was there. They mentioned it. Was a copy of Splinter Cell for the GameCube, the first one. Now, to make things better, I didn't have $1 on me. I had my card, but I know they pay fees and all on cards, and they're not making shit if they. Sorry, I apologize for the language. I may have to cut that out. They're not making much money if they have to scan my card in $1. So I said, well, I don't have the cash. I don't really want to make you have to scan my card. I said, let me see if I have enough change, and I was like, oh, I don't. Just asked me how much do you have, and I said, it's 80 cents. We'll take it. They said. So I gave them the 80 cents, and I got both those GameCube games. I'm happy with that, considering I've seen Superstar Baseball a couple of times at the flea market, and they always want $10 for it because it's Mario. And I've always passed going, I'll pay $10 for Mario Baseball. Anyway, the final title I picked up yesterday, $2.99 at one of my favorite pawn shops. This is like a $30 game, so you gotta be kidding me. Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the Xbox for $2.99. I was so happy when I saw this. I almost couldn't believe it with all the luck I was having in that GameCube. All those GameCube games. I couldn't believe my luck was actually getting better, but it did. I got this for $2.99. The Donkey Kong 64. There were a couple items I actually probably should have grabbed that I didn't yesterday. I'm not going to go into that too much right now, but all in all, awesome day. Had some great finds, and yeah, it's a lot of stuff I know because I'm trying not to spend, but is there anything that you think I didn't get a good deal on? I mean, let me know. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Until next time.